knowledge flowing from the survival scrolls. I am your gracious host, Mr. Bobby Shades. And this is Bridging Cares. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, how did you become who you are today? Let's go. So family, how did you become who you are today? That's the question of the day. What shaped you? What molded you? What made you become this person, this individual, this molecular being that came into existence? Did you get all the love, the support, the care, the need? Were people who should have been in your life there in your life? What was it? I just had a crazy thought. Were you the condom in the hole? The hole in the condom, I should say. I'm saying it backwards. You came by accident. No, really, family. What shaped you? And mind you, it doesn't have to be from the inception of birth to the person that you are today as growth. It could be along the way, along the path. It could be a marriage. It could be school. You know, Jay-Z always said that, can I go, let's see, I don't even know which way to go. Let's go this way. He always said that there was a teacher in the 6th grade that shaped his understanding and his belief to be a writer, a speaker, a talker. You know, that was his inspiration, was a teacher, you know. There are people who have modeled themselves after their hero, someone that they looked up to, that they became. The late great Kobe Bryant, if you look at a lot of his moves, it almost mimicked Michael Jordan a great deal, from the sticking out of the tongue to just various things. And you know, when he went up against his hero, you know, it was like, it was a war. It was respected, but it was like Michael was playing against himself, kind of, sort of, kind of. You know, could be sports, could be your parent. You know, there are famous, not so famous, but individuals. I always say famous. I'm always going there. Let me get off of that. Individuals that have modeled themselves after a parent. If an individual was into real estate, the son, the daughter got into real estate. If an individual was into sports, they got into it. Mario Andretti, famous race car driver, his son became a race car driver. Muhammad Ali, I forget, Layla Ali, if I'm correct, his daughter. Hell of a boxer. So sometimes, you know, it could be a person, it could be a circumstance, you know. There are many advocates of counselors within the drug arena. I knew a gentleman, his name escapes me. It's not like I really spoke to him that often, but I knew him. And he was a very well-known counselor. He traveled to different places, but he worked primarily at one particular facility. And he was a heavy-duty drug user. He said, so, you know, I could speak to the dudes that were, you know, that came in intake, and they were going through something and this, that, and the third. You know, I could speak their language. You know, they couldn't pull anything over on me. They could be telling me, oh, you know, it's like, get out of here, you know. So that was his circumstance. There have been people who have gone through situations. I used to watch a show. It's not Bravo. Can't remember what channel it is. And it's called I Survived. Hell of a show. If you look on YouTube, you'll see it. Hell of a show. Hell of a show. Hell of a show. Hell of a show. People who've gone through all sorts of horrific traumas in their life. Survivors of being shot. Survivors, Marine survivors being on a boat that capsized, that you know, what have you. being caught in a tornado, being caught on a mountain, on a ski slope. You know, many of people who have endured some situations, and you know, they go and they speak. Men in jail who go to schools. It's like, you know, you're not a real thug. You're not, you know, the biggest, the strongest dudes in jail, the biggest, strongest dudes are in the corner balled up crying because they just been violated by not one, but several. Because they didn't want to play in a sandbox, or they thought that they were that big, that bold, you know. So the circumstances could be anything that shaped who you are today. And let's say it's something not that good. Do you have remnants of that you suffer with? Are there aspects that still peek out, that maybe you lash out, or maybe you need to just woosah by yourself, you know? So that's the question, family. What event or growth in life made you the person that you are today? Could be a marriage that fell, that an individual didn't have a voice, they didn't have any existence except just to be the spouse, that they eventually were able to get out. I know of a woman whose husband was a cop. She still, in my humble opinion, suffers from time to time, and primarily more with her children. But she, not a put down, just an acknowledgement of what I see from afar. Or I haven't seen her in many, many years, but I'll hear her on the phone talking. And her husband was a New Jersey transit cop, I believe, or something. But he was very abusive, very, very abusive. There was the set time to engage in intimacy on certain days. Lasted about a good 15 minutes, and it was his pleasure, never hers. Told her, you know, if you ever think of leaving me, I know people in the police force and beyond, I'll make sure you disappear, you know. She since got away from it. But there's still that victimhood that sometimes comes out. Sometimes it's you know, like I said, I'll hear her and talk about her children who are of adult age and the things that she goes through, or the woe is me, without even saying, well, why don't you try this method, or why don't you go this route, you know. Abandonment. I knew of an individual I used to work with, used to put down people, always had a slick mouth, always, you know, put someone down, always something slick, always something. And then it took me some time, and I recognized that because of her own misgivings, that which we all have, it's not a put down towards her, just an acknowledgement, that to feel better about herself, she put down other people around her, you know. Oh, look at you, you know, left-handed comments, so forth and so on. Eventually, one day, she said to me, and mind you, we never had a discussion about my view of her, but she said to me, she was traumatized by the fact that her mother never raised her. Her mother was out doing her own thing. You know, I don't want to say what it was, but she was doing her own thing. And she was raised by her grandmother. And that took a lot on her. That really much took a lot on her. And I feel that there was a degree of abandonment that she endured, that you know, I was recently watching, there's a gentleman, I can't remember his name right now. It's not that I really watch him, but I see him once in a blue moon on a YouTube channel. And he was talking to it's like a black couples channel. And he was talking to this woman, and he said to her, he said, you know, a lot of people look at you that you're hard. It's not that you want to be hard, it's because you have to be hard because of the things that you endured, you know. He said, but I see you. And I want to bring out the feminine in you. I want to bring out that woman, that tenderness. You don't have to be hard around me. And I was like, ooh, that was deep. That was deep. She didn't put on a face. She didn't put on a facade. She became that entity. Thus, she gave off this very tough, difficult exterior. You know. So anyway, family, that's the question of the day. What event or events or growth shaped you to become the person that you are today? That's all I have for you today, family. So let us give thanks and praise that we are 6 feet above ground and not below, and that those in our inner circle are in the same vein. Please like, share, and subscribe. It does help the channel. It does help the algorithm. It does allow for the videos that I post, which are a bit, to come on the side panel so you don't have to go searching for them. Please tell a lot of people about this channel. This channel is not based in any belief system, so to speak. If I have of my own belief, then, you know, I'll state it. This is my own humble belief. You know, I'm not trying to intrude upon someone else's belief, and it's not steeped, that's the word I'm looking for. It's not steeped into any kind of racial bias, any political bias. I have my own beliefs. It's for everyone to talk about anything, for the most part. That's it. So whatever you do today, family, please make a statement. If silence is your vocation for the moment, make it loud and proud. And whatever you do, family, my belief, my creed, my statement, stay lovely, stay sexy, but most of all, family, stay safe. I am your gracious host, Mr. Bobby Shades, flowing from the survival scrolls. And this is Bridging Fears. See you guys in the next clip.